In this edition of RPP News, a new government is having an impact. Our mayor is roughing it, and Frankston basketball scores a three-pointer. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPP News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. Our new Prime Minister and his team have been settling into their front bench roles. The full cabinet is yet to be announced, so we asked returned Dunkley MP Peter Murphy if she's hoping for a new job in Canberra.
If I was offered a job in Canberra, I would grab it with both hands and relish it. And while I was doing that, I would be delivering on all the amazing commitments we've made for Dunkley. But I'm just really excited to be part of a government and part of a team. So whether I got offered a job or not, the next 3 years are going to be hard work and delivery, and I can't wait for it to start.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Albanese is ringing in the changes with early acts of respect for our First Nations people. In his acceptance speech, he committed to the Uluru Statement in full, and before his first speech as PM, replaced 2 of the 3 Australian flags behind his press conference podium with the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags. This has delighted First Nations people as we enter Reconciliation Week. We spoke to Peter Oldenhoven from Willam Moraine Aboriginal Association about the changes.
It gave First Nations people a lot of hope for the future. You know, when Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister-elect at that time, bookended his speech by committing to the Uluru Statement from the Heart. Many Aboriginal mob and Torres Strait Islander mob have felt over the last 5 years that there's been an absence of national leadership in this space. Imagine how it'd be the oldest continuous living culture melded with all the excitement and diversity of our multicultural story, which is an incredibly positive story, into a narrative around our country that we could all be proud of and all feel involved in and part of.
And if you're watching this before 11 a.m. on Sunday, don't forget Willam Moraine has invited all Peninsula residents to join them on Hastings Foreshore for a walk of reconciliation. Details are on their Facebook page. Police are investigating following the vandalism of a vehicle in Sorrento and a billboard in Rosebud, both of which belong to new member for Flinders, Zoe McKenzie. Offensive graffiti was left on the blue Kia parked on Point Nepean Road and the billboard on Bonio Road late on the night of Thursday, the 28th of April. Police have released images of a woman who may be able to assist with their inquiries. Anyone who recognises her or who has information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Frankston City Council Mayor Nathan Conroy is in the middle of his Roughing It challenge, raising awareness of homelessness. This weekend, he's roughing it for 24 hours by living with no bed, 1 bag, and just $10 a day for food and essentials. The challenge aims to build greater awareness and empathy for people experiencing homelessness, and all money raised goes towards launch housing. Mayor Conroy said homelessness is a national human rights issue that not only needs to be spoken about, but addressed. For more information about the challenge and where to find help in Frankston, visit the council website. Frankston basketball scored a major win this week. Frankston and District Basketball Association has received Basketball Victoria's most prestigious award, the 2021 Association of the Year. Just 3 years ago, the FDBA were 138th on the ladder, but under the stewardship of CEO Wayne Holdsworth and the board, they're now top of the table. The association has become a major force, achieving a 100% reactivation rate of participation after the interruption of COVID, and equality in player and coach salary budgets for the men's and women's teams. And the International Cool Climate Wine Show was on this week in Frankston. RPP's Neil Williams was out there to find out what's hot in cool wines.
I'm here at Functions by the Bay in Frankston at the Frankston Football Club for the 20th International Cool Climate Wine Show. They've had 2 years off with COVID and everybody's been raring to go to get back. You can see over here that we've got one of the panels who are doing their tasting. The way that works is that each panel tastes individually and then the four members all come together. They're setting, doing their individual tasting. When they've finished that, they'll come together and share their notes and discuss the strengths of each of the different wines. We have more than 20 different categories. We have over 440 entrants from right around the Australian cool climate regions, plus New Zealand and Italy. The Mornington Peninsula is the home of the International Cool Climate Wine Show because most of our wines, almost every wine on the peninsula, is cool climate because of our very important, and there's a bit of that today, the coolness of the climate. I'm speaking now with Paul White, who's the chairman of the show. I'd imagine that Chardonnay and Pinot would be two of the major varieties.
Correct. The Chardonnay is about 53 in their class and the Pinot's about 33 in the class. We have a lot of those in Mornington Peninsula as well. We have a lot of new time wineries that have come into the show that are based Mornington Peninsula, and it gives the Mornington Peninsula wineries a chance to benchmark themselves against other wines from different cool climate wine regions and see how they're tracking with their styles and characteristics. And as you know, Neil, a Pinot from Tasmania versus a Pinot from Mornington Peninsula, totally different, and you've got to compare them, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and even looking at Adelaide and the other locations are good, but the wines have been excellent for the Cool Climate International Show this year, and next year can only be bigger and better. We've just come through COVID and we're moving ahead.
Absolutely. The star of the show, of course, are the judges. We're about to talk to Meg. She's been chatting with this group of judges and just helping them work them through some of the challenges involved with sampling the wines.
So my role is to oversee that they're all kind of on the same page, really.
Yeah.
So they'll bring back wines that they want to taste. I need to taste those golded wines, and their aim is to make a decision on the top gold of the wine. So I can have my input, but at the end of the day, it's the panel chair's decision. It's a consensus on what is the top goal, but it's just to guide them, and in case they've missed something, there might be a different style, a more diverse style. So I'm trying to, corral them into retrying that wine. But I can have a captain's pick, but I've never utilised it yet.
So after 2 days of judging, intense judging, it's all come down to this. The gold medal winners and the trophy winners, the trophy winning awards, the trophy wines, the gold medal wines, here at the International Cool Climate Wine Show of 2022.
After the break, we have Nicola with this week's weather report.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term, and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Hello, it's Nicola here with this week's RPP Weekly Weather Update. Well, it looks like the rain has set in this week. Let's take a look and break it down. Today, Sunday the 29th of May, saw a mostly overcast day with some rain and sunny periods. We reached a top of 15 and with a low of 7. Monday should see a partly cloudy day with rain lurking about. With a 90% chance of rain, we should reach a high of 12 and a low of 7. Tuesday continues this trend. However, there is a 100% chance of rain. Expect a top of 12 and a low of 7. Wednesday, the 1st of June, should be another wet day with a top of 13 and a low of 5. Thursday sees the rain continuing with a 70% chance of rain across the peninsula. We can expect a top of 13 and a low of 7. Friday will see the rain increase with 85% chance of rain. We should feel a top of 12 and a low of 6. And finally, Saturday sees the rain continue with a top of 14 and a low of 5. Well, that's all for this week. And don't forget to watch the full RPP news at rppv.com.au. Until next week, take care.
And now to our surf guru Muzz with the Surf Report.
Hey guys, Muzz here with this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. What a great week we've just had on the beaches. 5 days of magnificent beach breaks, banks from the Portsea end to the Gunnamatta end. So hopefully you got in the water and had a great surf. Got another day or so left of it before the wind goes around. It goes to the northwest first with the first bit of a front. So probably Saturday we'll move into Western Port. Sunday swell will back off a bit Monday, but we'll be offshore, but then it'll come back onshore and the swell will pick up again Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So won't be as good as this week we've just had, but it'll still be a fairly decent week of surfing. So hopefully you got amongst it, because surely the beaches are as good as they get in that sort of small swell size. So everyone's had their fill, but sometimes that isn't enough. So enjoy, and I'll see you in the water.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.